the first thing you want to take care of every day, Lord, bless me. Why? So you can be a blessing. Keep me from the evil of the day. Keep me from the evil of the day. Every day you wake up, you don't know what evil has been designed to try to take you down and to trouble you. So go ahead of it and say, keep me from the evil of the day.
Choose fellowship with God daily. Choose fellowship with God daily. Try to learn what pleases the Lord and have nothing to do with the things done in darkness, which are not worth anything. Walk with Him. Walk with Him for life.
Now, let me ask you this. Is there anything in your life that you're willing to be fully committed to for the rest of your life? There might be things you're committed to right now that's taking your time and your energy, and you shouldn't be committed to those because God wants first priority in your life and a whole heart commitment. And God says what's most important is that you be with me above everything else, that you get to know me. It means that when I wake up in the morning, I need to say, God, no matter what happens today, I need to get to know you a little bit more. I need to learn how to love you a little bit more. And it could be the best day I've ever had, but I need to make sure I need to learn to love you and know you a little bit more. And God says, if you do that, that day was a success. And the opposite is true too, which is, let's say you get up and you don't even think about God. And you've got this great day. You go, you make the sale, you finally get the job, you finally get a date with a live girl, whatever it is, okay? You're a success that day. It's your best day ever that you've got. And you forget about God. God says that day was a waste. It was a failure because you forgot me. What's most important is that you get to know the Lord and get to know Him. And it's a mistake that you and I make all the time in our lives where we don't think about inviting God into our daily experiences. And we think, God, I've got this. I got my dating. Don't worry about my dating. I've got it, God. I know what I'm doing. Oh, God, don't worry about my work. Oh, I'm good. I'm good, God. I've got my work. Don't worry about my dreams, God. Oh, don't touch my dreams. Don't worry about them. I've got them. And we totally rule out God. Am I going to put my faith in my own wisdom, in my own power, in my own resources, or am I going to trust God? Am I going to let God do the battle for me and trust His power and His provision in my life? And the fact is that when we make that choice, we need to know that God wants to do battle for us. God wants to go before us in battle. He wants to go with you in battle. He wants to help you in your troubles and the problems that you have. So whatever trouble you're in, whatever battle you're in right now, seek the Lord, seek His power. He wants to give it to you. Prayer is a weapon of our faith. It is one of the greatest weapons of our faith. It should be our first response and not our last resort when we go through times of trouble. Call out to God and rely on Him. God wants you to know that He wants you to experience the fullness of His presence in your life, not just every day of your life, but every moment of your life. You can experience His presence if you want it. You can tap into it, and that's the promise He gives us. He promises His presence in our lives when we seek after Him. You may go through deep waters. You will go through deep waters in your life, but you will not drown. You will go through storms in life, and God will get you through those storms. And when you go to battle, you need to know that God wants to be there with you and protect you, and you will not be destroyed. One of the greatest truths of the Bible is if God is for us, who can be against us? Here's Jesus' invitation to you. Here's what He says in Matthew 11. Jesus said, come to me. That's the seeking part. Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, all the things that are weighing you down. And here's His promise, and I will give you rest. Let me teach you because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find the rest for your souls. And so what I can tell you with great honesty and sincerity is that if you're in the desert and you're in the battle and you've been in there for a long time and you're gonna be in it, God's presence will be with you and He will protect you and He will give you the rest. And I have found if I have that, that is all I need. I don't have to have the answers. I don't have to understand. But if I got God and I feel Him and I know Him and He's there, then I am good. How do we need to make sure that we don't miss out on God's blessing when we're seeking Him? Well, there's a familiar verse that gives us great direction. It's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says this, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. This word trust means to trust him not just in the convenient ways, not just in the easy ways, not even just in the spiritual ways, but trust him in all of the ways that we have in our lives, in the big and the small. Trust him on the roads of life that you've been on before, and trust him on the roads you've never been on, and those paths you've never taken, and those safari crazy roads where there is no path, that you're out there in the middle of the wilderness on your own. Trust him. And this word acknowledge in here, this word acknowledge means a deep, intimate, penetrating relationship where you know a person in the deepest and fullest sense. That's the kind of relationship God wants to have with you and with me. So our life goal needs to be this, that we need to seek God in every area of our life when we don't know what to do. And we need to seek God when we do know what to do. We need to seek him in the big things, in the small things. We need to invite him into the conversations. We need to invite him into daily life, because yesterday's victories don't determine today's successes. And even when you think you know how to answer the problem that you're in, you still need to go to God. You still need to trust him, because the greatest faith of yesterday will not give us the confidence of today unless we stay connected to God, because he wants to bless our lives. God wants to have his best for your life. He wants to have his hand on your life. He wants to give you the protection and his presence and rest and hope and all the things that he wants to do for you. He wants that. 2 Chronicles 16:9 says, the eyes of the Lord search the whole earth. They search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts that are fully committed to him. This verse says that God is searching, he's looking, he's seeking the entire earth for somebody, for a people, for a person, for a church that's willing to be fully committed to him so that he can bless them and have his hand on them and give you and give me his best. He is seeking after you. God wants us to seek him, but he is seeking us. He is seeking us because he loves us, and he wants to give you his best.
We need to do our responsibility and then cast our care. You do what you can do about the things in your life that you can do something about, and then when you cannot do anything about it, you cast it on God and you trust him, and it's perfectly okay for you to enjoy your life while you have a problem. I said it is perfectly okay for you to go ahead and enjoy your life while God is working on your problem. It's not that nothing's happening. It's just that you're not the one that's making something happen. So whatever you have going on in your life tonight, don't waste one more day in excessive sadness and grief and depression and discouragement because you can't do anything about it. And Jesus paid for you to be able to enjoy your life, to have it in abundance, to the full, until it overflows. So we are totally wasting what God gives us if we waste our days in sadness and mourning. Learn how to focus on good things. Everybody here has got something they could be upset about if they chose to focus on it, but you don't have to focus on that. And what we focus on is what we magnify in our lives. What we talk about is what we become more consciously aware of in our lives. If there's a problem that needs to be dealt with it, deal with it, but don't focus on it. Think about the possibilities in your life, not the problems in your life. Hebrews 12:2 very simply says, looking away from all that will distract unto Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. Learn how to celebrate the good instead of grieving excessively over the bad things in life. No matter where you started in life, you can have a good finish. It doesn't really matter where you began. You have got a good finish coming. Let's have a shift in our thinking. Let's have a shift in what we're focusing on. Surely you can find something in your life to focus on that's worth celebrating. And we're going to be excited about the things that are yet to be done that we know that God is working on and that God is doing.